Hi, Michelle Peterson here, and today I am talking about the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read this, back in the 80s, 90s. It was in the 90s because I'm looking at my book right now, and the copyright date on my copy of this is, I had it just here, 1989. So I read this when I was a young professional just out of college. That would have been in the 90s. And guys, I just went to a networking lunch, and this book was the topic of conversation. The 7 Habits was the topic of the presentation at this networking lunch. So it has very much withstood the test of time, and is still relevant today. These young professional women, leaders of the community, were talking about these 7 habits, and it was a great presentation because there were 7 presenters, and each one took a single habit and talked a little bit about it. And it was such a great reminder of something I learned long ago, and something that I have still continued to use and to implement and to help guide my life. So if you have not read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, here's my 1989 copy of it. And I'm sorry that it's backwards, mirror image, But here are the 7 habits. So habit number 1 is be proactive. Habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. Habit number 3 is put first things first. So those 3 habits are classified under the general umbrella of the private victory, right? So it is more of the internal thing that you're working on there. The habit number 4 is think win-win. How widespread has that become, right? Think win-win is habit number 4. Habit number 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. That is probably the most powerful one personally for me, and one that I have always strived to implement in my life. It's, I think, why I'm such a good listener. It's why I am, I think, very intentional about what I say. So anyways, that's habit number 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Not always successful at it, but I always strive to uphold that one. Habit number 6 is to synergize. And so all of those 3 are what Stephen Covey categorized as the public victory, right? It's how you're, and he also called it the paradigms of interdependence. So it is how you're interacting with others, right? And then habit number 7 is a powerful one, and it is sharpen the saw. So all 7 of them are very important. You can't really do one without the other. Of course you can, but they all dovetail and they all work together to make you a really highly effective person. And these habits are important whether you are in business for yourself, whether you are in sales, whether you are an employee of another company. A lot of these are even important for your personal life, for your personal relationships. I highly recommend this book. It's an oldie but a goodie. Like I say, it has still withstood the test of time. I am sure, I did not go and look, but I am sure it is on multiple revision number now, updated and revised for the current generation, the current climate if you will, the personal climate, if you will. But this book, and it's still on the shelf in my library, and it is one that I do go back to read periodically because it was so impactful. And I'm so glad. I mean, it was so great to see a whole new generation of business women, professional women, looking to this same book, this same principles that I grew up on, right? So that is just so cool. Again, it's what can I say about it that would be impactful for you today? It is just something that if you read it and you really put these habits, these principles into action, it will make such a difference, I think, in your life. It really has in mine anyway. All of them, think win-win. Begin with the end in mind. Oh my gosh, that is huge. It really puts a perspective on where you're going, and it really can help guide you, right? Of course, put first things first. And that's speaking about the things that are, how we always do those things that are either totally urgent but not important. Those are the fires that we're putting out. Or, the easy things are, of course, the unimportant and unurgent. I'm guilty of it too. I like that Netflix binge day. But, it really puts things into perspective, because so often the quadrant, he calls them quadrants, the quadrant of the important but not urgent is the thing that we probably focus on the least, but it's probably the one that needs to be focused on the most, right? And so that's what we're talking about with put first things first. But really all of these habits, you guys, are just so powerful. So I do hope that you'll read this book. And I want to leave you with the sharpen the saw habit. And they reminded me of this story at the lunch meeting today. And to clearly understand this, think of the story of the woodcutter. He's out in the forest, and these old saws, right? So he's sawing this tree. He's trying to cut the tree down, and he's sawing and he's working at it. He's been working at it all day, and he just, he's struggling with this saw to cut the tree down. And so a young guy comes up and he says, "Hey, why you're really working hard here? You're struggling. Why don't you take a break and sharpen that saw?" And the guy's, "No, I can't take a break. Can't you see I'm so busy? I can't possibly stop and sharpen this." And the guy's all, "Well, but you're missing the point, because if you sharpen the saw, you'll get it done. It'll be easier and you'll get it done faster." "Oh, no, I can't take a break. I'm so busy. I'm working so hard on doing this. I can't possibly stop." And doesn't that just perfectly illustrate how we often are also so busy that we don't take the time to sharpen our own saw, right? And that is mental, physical, emotional relationships. All of that we need to sharpen, right? We need to pay attention to, we need to focus on. And I thought that was just a really good reminder for me. So I hope it's a good reminder for you. I hope you saw value in this. And keep watching. I will be going live periodically. I don't have any set rhyme or reason, don't have a schedule. But I am going to be more intentional about connecting with you more on video. So I hope you will watch. I hope you will share. Love to hear a comment if you follow the 7 habits and which one is most impactful for you. And if you read the book, when did you read it? I'd love to hear that in a comment. So comment below, share this with somebody else who may find it valuable. I would appreciate that. And I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day. Love you lots. Talk to you then. Bye for now.